Love him, hate him, ignore him. It doesn't matter, because Donald Trump isn't going away. Not from politics, not from the news, not from America's nervous system. And the reason has nothing to do with elections. This isn't a defense of Trump. This isn't an attack on Trump. This is an explanation. An explanation of why Trump still dominates attention, why every attempt to move on fails, and why America keeps circling back to the same man. People are exhausted. Exhausted of headlines, exhausted of outrage, exhausted of the same arguments. And yet, Trump keeps returning. That contradiction is the clue. When something won't disappear, it usually means it's serving a purpose. Trump doesn't survive because of popularity. He survives because the system needs him. Not consciously, not proudly, but structurally. Before Trump, leaders faded after office. Political eras had endings. Attention moved forward. After Trump, leaders linger indefinitely. Eras overlap. Attention loops. Trump didn't just enter politics, he changed its expiration date. Think about a TV show you stopped liking but couldn't stop watching. Not because it was good, but because it triggered something. Anger, curiosity, familiarity. Trump is that show. America keeps saying, "I'm done," but keeps tuning in. Trump doesn't ask for approval. He triggers reaction, and reaction is stronger than agreement. That's why supporters defend him, critics chase him, and media follows him. Different motives, same result. Trump isn't the center of attention by accident. He fits perfectly into a system that rewards outrage, monetizes division, and confuses visibility with importance. Trump mastered that system faster than anyone else. They ask, how do we stop Trump? Wrong question. The real question is, why does the system keep selecting him? Until that's answered, Trump or someone like him will always return. This is only the surface, because attention alone doesn't explain longevity. Trump doesn't need applause. He needs resistance, because resistance is fuel. Trump isn't going away because the system keeps selecting him. Now we explain how that selection actually happens. The answer is simple and uncomfortable. Modern America doesn't reward solutions, it rewards engagement. And nothing drives engagement like conflict. Trump doesn't create conflict by accident. He inhabits it. Support is finite. Conflict is infinite. Once people agree, the story ends. When people fight, the story restarts every day. Trump understands this instinctively. Most politicians try to avoid fights, de-escalate tension, appear reasonable. Trump does the opposite. He names enemies, forces reactions, and refuses resolution. Conflict becomes permanent. Before Trump, conflict was episodic. News cycles cooled down. Public attention moved on. After Trump, conflict never resolves. Cycles overlap. Attention never resets. Trump doesn't let the system breathe. Media can't ignore conflict. Ignoring it feels irresponsible. Covering it feels inevitable. Trump exploits that dilemma. One statement triggers panels, fact checks, outrage, defenses. He speaks once, the system echoes for days. Think about a fight you never finished. No apology, no resolution. It sticks with you longer than fights you won. Trump engineers unfinished arguments. America can't move on from them. Trump doesn't want you calm. Calm people disengage. Trump wants anger, fear, pride, defiance. Those emotions keep people watching. Attacks don't weaken Trump. They confirm his narrative. They're against me. They're against you. Criticism doesn't remove him from the center. It locks him there. Trump doesn't win debates.
He wins endurance. He outlasts outrage. While critics burn out, Trump remains. You can't destroy conflict by participating in it. That only feeds it. But ignoring it feels dangerous. That's the trap, and Trump lives inside it. Trump doesn't dominate because he's loud. He dominates because the system depends on conflict, and he supplies it better than anyone. But conflict alone doesn't create loyalty. Plenty of people provoke chaos and vanish. Trump didn't, because conflict evolved into something deeper. At some point, Trump stopped being a politician people followed. He became someone people felt. But conflict alone doesn't explain loyalty. Anger fades, outrage burns out. Trump didn't fade, because conflict transformed into identity. Trump stopped arguing policy. He started representing people's position in society. Not left or right, up or down. Ideas can change. Identity resists change. When politics becomes identity, criticism feels like an insult. Debate feels like an attack. Disagreement feels personal. Trump crossed that line early. It wasn't planned. It was emotional alignment. Trump became a symbol for people who felt ignored, talked down to, blamed, left behind. You didn't have to like his words. You just had to recognize the reaction he triggered. Before Trump, politics was something you discussed. Leaders represented ideas. Losing elections felt temporary. After Trump, politics feels personal. Leaders represent identity. Losing elections feels humiliating. That emotional shift locked people in. Media didn't just criticize Trump, they mocked his supporters. That distinction mattered. Mockery doesn't persuade, it hardens identity. Think about being laughed at publicly. You don't analyze the joke, you remember the feeling. Trump positioned himself as the one fighting the laughter. That's powerful. Trump didn't promise perfection, he promised defiance. I won't apologize, I won't bend, I won't leave. For many people, that felt like self-respect. Once identity is formed, facts become secondary. Information is filtered through loyalty. Helps us? True. Hurts us? Fake. Trump didn't destroy facts. Identity made them negotiable. Trump doesn't need to be consistent. Identity doesn't require logic. It requires alignment. As long as Trump stands opposite them, he stays authentic. Institutions are built for rational disagreement. Identity-based politics bypasses that. You can't compromise identity. You can't negotiate dignity. That's why traditional tools stopped working. Supporters don't expect Trump to be perfect. They expect him to be on their side. That bond survives scandals, losses, and time. But identity alone still isn't enough. Most movements fade once power is lost. Trump didn't, because he learned something unprecedented: how to hold power without holding office. Donald Trump lost the White House, but he didn't lose control, because power doesn't only live in office. But identities usually weaken when leaders lose authority. Trump didn't. Instead, his influence evolved. In American politics, losing office means less relevance, fewer microphones, gradual disappearance. That's the design. Trump refused to follow it. Trump understood something the system didn't. Cultural power outlasts institutional power. So he stopped chasing titles. He chased attention. Even outside government, Trump sets talking points, forces political alignment, shapes news cycles, triggers reactions. Not through laws, through presence. Every time Trump speaks, media reacts, politicians respond, institutions reposition. Reaction equals relevance. Trump doesn't need authority, he needs inevitability. Before Trump, power flowed top-down. Office created influence. Authority was centralized. After Trump, Influence creates authority. Attention decentralizes power. Visibility replaces control. Trump adapted faster than the system. Think of a former boss who left the company, but everyone still checks what he thinks. Decisions still orbit him. That's not official power, that's psychological power. Silence doesn't neutralize Trump, it creates anticipation. Vacuum breeds speculation, so institutions speak first. Trump stays central without effort. Trump's supporters don't need him governing, they need him fighting. As long as the fight exists, Trump does too. America is built on terms, limits, transitions. Trump operates outside those boundaries. You can't vote out attention. The system tried to outrage him away, shame him away, silence